Okay. All right. So the movie that we're discussing tonight is Wings. And all the information I have about it, I got from Wikipedia. But so it says Wings is a 1927 American silent and synchronized sound war film, which won the first Academy Award for Best Picture. While the sound version of the film has no audible dialogue, it was released with a synchronized musical score with sound effects. The original soundtrack to the sound version is preserved at UCLA. The film stars Clara Bow, Charles Buddy Rogers, and Richard Arlen. Rogers and Arlen portray World War I combat pilots in a romantic rivalry over a woman. It was produced by Lucien Hubbard, directed by William A. Wellman, and released by Paramount Famous Lasky Corporation. Gary Cooper appears in a small role, which helped launch his career. The film is a romantic action war picture, was written by scriptwriters Hope Loring and Louis Lighton from a story by John Monk Saunders to accommodate Bow, Paramount's biggest star at the time. The film was shot on location on a budget of $2 million, equivalent to $28 million in 2023, at Kelly Field in San Antonio. Hundreds of extras and some 300 pilots were involved in the filming, including pilots and planes of the United States Army Air Corps, which were brought in for filming to provide assistance and supervision. Wellman rehearsed the scenes from the Battle of Saint-Mihiel, evidently a big air battle in World War I. It went on to win the inaugural Academy Award for Outstanding Picture at the first Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Science Award ceremony in 1929, the only fully silent film to do so. Wings was one of the first widely released films to show nudity. So just briefly about the plot. It's 2 hours and 18 minutes long. And the plot, Jack Powell and David Armstrong are rivals in the same small American town, both vying for the attention of pretty Sylvia Lewis. Jack fails to realize that the girl next door, Mary Preston, is desperately in love with him. The two young men both enlist to become combat pilots in the Army Air Service. When they leave for training camp, Jack mistakenly believes Sylvia prefers him, but she actually prefers David and lets him know about her feelings, but is too kind-hearted to turn down Jack's affection. Mary joins the war effort by becoming an ambulance driver, and the story comes to a climax with the epic Battle of Saint-Mihiel, I guess it's called. At the war's end, Jack is reunited with Mary and realizes he loves her. That's kind of all of it in a nutshell. I have a few observations, but I think I'll just wait a few minutes and hear what you guys all have to say about it. I thought it was terrific. I wasn't sure how much I would like it, but I just thought it was terrific. I was sitting there going, it's going to be old. It's going to feel old. And it did feel old and all that. But I mean, when they got to the bubble scene and there was all the cinematography with the bubbles and all that, I was going,
it was fun.
It was pretty entertaining. And I thought it was pretty worthy of a best picture, maybe in any time. I don't know.
Missed the nudity? I didn't see that.
What? You better go back and watch it again.
I think there was two, those scenes with the guys at when they're being enlisted. It's like the back of them. And then she's changing from her sparkly outfit to her uniform.
Back to her uniform,
Yeah. And it's not full frontal, it's just a little, but this was before the Hayes rules. So, there was a lot of that, even the dresses that she wore. And that they wore at that time. Wow, you know, that was just pretty risque for that time frame. But anyway, I enjoyed it. The thing I got the biggest kick out of were the airplane scenes. I mean, the aviation. And since I tried to put myself in there, when you can imagine the way for me, it was like, I tried to imagine if there were commercial flights to the moon now, it'd be that same kind of awe that, you know,
Yeah.
planes had just started and Lindbergh did something. But I mean, there weren't too many planes around and they had just gotten, you know, when was the Wright brothers, what, 18 or something?
No, like 1909, I believe.
Oh, 19, okay, all right.
But
So then this
Lindbergh
is
was
only
after
about,
this.
yeah, this is only about,
Lindbergh was flew in
well, he was
27.
more like,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
but,
so Lindbergh made his flight to Paris the same year this movie came out, right? 27.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, the movie was
I think it
27.
was 28.
But that's what I got a kick out of. I thought the aviation scenes were amazing for that time. And imagine how,
You were.
wow, how they get, you know, how people didn't get, a lot of people, I guess, did get hurt because of the filming, but I enjoyed it. And it was she was so good, Clara Bow, with those eyes and the expressions and all that. The only thing that I wish is that I wish I could have heard the original as opposed to this, the one I watched it on Tubi, so I don't know if they all had it this way, but it was, even during the aviation scenes, it was kind of like circus music, you know, like ding, 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 ding,
I
that
turned the music off.
oh yeah, that's what
I
I did.
did too.
Yeah, because it was just so annoying after a while. It's like, oh, geez, yeah.
I wonder if
Um,
like that was
repetitive.
different than on Prime. On Prime, I don't remember that. And I know there was a restored version, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, they said there were a few versions. And there was a version where when the planes crashed, there would be the sound of crashing.
right.
But
Right.
that wasn't the one I had. So, you know, that was the only thing that was kind of off-putting. And again, you know, just turn the sound off.
I watched it on Hoopla and I thought I heard crashing. I mean,
Did you really? Interesting. No.
Yeah, I watched it on Prime, and there was sound effects of planes crashing. They weren't
Yeah.
spectacular
Oh,
sounds, but
Not on Tubi. Tubi had just like
Mhm.
circus music.
the
It was
music,
like circus music
annoying.
on a honky tonk piano.
Yeah.
So it's like
And the same thing over and over.
and over and over.
I was
Yes.
tired of it. I said, oh my gosh. And I thought, hello, Chris, hello, mute it. You aren't going to miss
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
as long as you're paying attention.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
each frame of the movie, you're going to be fine. But I did get really good at reading lips. But
Yeah. Yeah.
after a couple hours, you know, yeah, I liked it, Bill. I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't know what to expect. The story was very, very good. It got a little long in the tooth on some of the war scenes there on the, you know, the battles on the ground. I thought I did like the air battles that were going on, you know, the aces and
Shooting
Colonel
star. Yeah.
Wellman and all of them. And it was very, very impressive from that standpoint, because I don't know a whole lot about World War I. So, but you had to know that Mary
Yeah.
was going to end up with
Of
Jack
course.
in the end, and they're just so damn cute together. But when they were sitting on the swing at the beginning of the movie, and the swing's going back and forth, and the camera's going back and forth with them, I'm going, whoa! You get a little vertigo watching that, but then they soon went away from it. And I thought, man, if there's any more of this in this movie, I don't know if I can take it or not.
Mhm.
But yeah, I enjoy it. It's so different. I've not ever watched anything like this before, so I enjoyed your pick very much.
Hey, Bill, I did, was there best picture or best actress or actor in 29 or 28, whenever it was.
I don't know. I thought about that, but I didn't look it up.
I didn't
I
either.
think, and I could be wrong on there, that the best actor, the first best actor award went to a guy by the name of Victor McLaughlin.
Oh,
who,
yeah.
uh,
Long John Silver, wasn't he? Victor McLaughlin?
he was in a bunch of early John Wayne movies, and he got it for a film about called The Informer, which was about a guy that was always bragging about being connected to the Irish Republican Army, and it turns out that he never did have any honest to God connections, and eventually betrayed the IRA people that he claimed to know.
What year would that have been?
27 or 28?
Oh, still that year. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now, the other thing, Chris, this is something I read to your point about the aerial scenes and stuff like that. Number one, there were probably not a lot of people in the American movie-going public that had seen any
airplane.
Well, they'd seen airplanes, but they'd never probably seen any sort of comprehensive dogfights from World War II. You know, they may have seen pictures
World War One.
or World War One. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. And so, I mean, that was one of the attractions, like Donna was saying, you know, comparable to a commercial moon flight today, and the exotic nature of that. And then the other thing I read about this, that one of the breakthroughs on this movie was that the pilots of the airplanes, which at least on some of this stuff were the actual actors, they had battery activated cameras in front of the pilots
The cockpit, yeah.
and then behind them as well, and the actors would activate the cameras. That was pretty freaking high tech for 19.
So like in my thing, you mean it was in front of him?
Yeah, and he activated that camera.
Wow.
Wow.
So they just had like GoPros up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
There would have been some giant thing in those days.
Yeah.
No, apparently it
Because they were like,
wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't have to do
know
that.
how that worked, but yeah.
I mean, I remember early on in my TV career, they had these pretty small Bell and Howell film cameras that were smaller than the screen you're probably all watching us on, and you activated it by pressing a button on the top of the camera, and that would engage the shutter and would start the photography. And so those those things were not.
They were heavy.
They were heavy, but they were
Small,
real sturdy, and they had been around in TV and filmmaking for most of the technology. So I'd always wanted to see this movie, but never took the time out to do it. So I enjoyed it a lot. I gave him a lot of leeway on the battle scenes. And I read also somewhere where the contribution of the U.S. Air Corps in supplying people and planes for this thing ended up being somewhere in the range of $16 million worth of goods and services provided by the Air Corps at the time. So
That's what flabbergasted me about this whole thing, was it had to absolutely cost a fortune in their dollars.
Yeah.
You said $2 million, Bill, and I think you have to add in.
Well, I think it was 28 million. It became in our dollars. It was like 6 million, right, Bill? 6 million, which was equivalent.
You said
I thought
two.
you said I thought they said 2 million. It was 28 million in today's dollars.
But the 16 is their contribution, I guess, in goods and services to do this. And to me, it was just I kept just looking at the TV saying, how did they ever afford this?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, did you
one-
say
one of
those
the things-
the military scene, the war scenes were real?
were what?
What?
Were real live footage? I mean, from back then,
No. It was
No.
recreated footage.
Mhm.
where
That-
the people, like the infantry people, were getting shot and stuff.
Yeah, I mean that was all battle recreation stuff. Jeff, if you look back at the film from World War II, it was shot at a different speed than modern photography. Modern photography's, I think, 24 frames a second, and this stuff was the film of the day of World War I was a little faster than that, because if you think about it, they're all sort of jerky when they're moving when they're moving about, and that's because the shutter speed was faster.
I also read something that said Clara Bow had a voice for silent movies.
Oh,
They never
probably.
I
made
think
the
I read that
transition.
too.
In the rain, yeah.
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 She was in Singing in the Rain.
No, but that's
No.
the Singing in the Rain was about. It's about
Oh.
the star, the girl had a terrible voice. So, yeah,
She went on and did talking movies, though. Bo did.
You did.
she
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't remember seeing her.
and was pretty successful. She
Huh.
had a relatively short career, and I mean, and I sort of read up on her because I didn't know that much. She was one of the first big
It girls.
superstars of Hollywood. She was the It Girl, which is the name of another movie that came out that same year, and yeah, she was a big time star, and then had a pretty star-crossed life. She had to battle mental health issues later on in life, that sort of stuff, and died in the 1960s, I think.
1965. Yeah. She was only 22 when they are 20. She was born in 1905, so she was what,
Yeah.
25?
Or yeah.
22.
22, yeah.
Yeah, 22.
I thought the action scenes ran long, but I liked them. They did a fabulous job, and in ways for the time very realistic, but it was also obviously like a spectacle, just a spectacular kind of scene. What I liked that I read about the film was that there were many pilots, as Mike and Mahoney was saying. They gave all this, all this stuff, but also they gave people and pilots to help, and this movie took most movies back then only took like a month to shoot.
Right.
This took like 9 months, and they were in San Antonio staying in this, they had the whole hotel, and they said that they called it cast escapades, but that there was just a lot of escapading going on, especially between Clara Bow and several of the pilots.
Well,
I read that too. Yes. And that all the women that operated the elevators ended up pregnant.
All the elevator girls, by the time the shooting was over, were pregnant. But they really did, that was the aerial scenes were out of this world, and
Good.
you could see how that would, it became like the standard, I think, for you had to live up to. And what I read about how bad, in what bad level of shape, decay and deterioration, and that what was left of it was a negative. It wasn't even it was and that they that they restored it to this level. I mean, look how crisp the faces are behind Chris.
Yeah, they restored it amazing.
They restored it beautifully. Yeah.
Really good.
I'm a more auditory person. Most people are quite visual, but I'm more of an auditory person. So I have a hard time with silent films. I'll just, because there's not dialogue, I'll find myself,
Squirrel.
yeah. But a lot about this movie held my attention. So there you go.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that, Karen. Absolutely. I had to sit there and train myself to pay attention to
Yeah,
what was
right.
going on,
Yeah, just because
rather
we're not
than go
used
off
to
and
it.
do this and that. Because there was no sound. And you turn back and you look and you've missed 8, 9, 10 frames. You don't
One
know
of the
why,
few
yes,
times
I
I
don't
haven't
know.
used
because
closed
there's no
captioning.
sound.
Yeah, right. It doesn't help.
What'd you say, Mattson?
I said I didn't have to use closed captioning.
No,
Wouldn't have helped.
no.
True.
And then there was the, this movie is supposedly, this is the first LGBTQ movie.
Yes.
So
Yes.
they say, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I-
No,
I
that's a
think-
stretch.
Because are you talking about the kiss scene or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Or
they try to
when-
make a
when-
big
when-
deal
yeah.
out of
Between
that.
David and Jack.
Yeah, when he's
Yeah.
dying.
Yeah, I thought we were going to go down a Brokeback Road somewhere.
He didn't kiss him on the lips, so he kissed
No,
him
he
like
didn't.
on
And his
the
friend was
side.
dying, and there's who's to say, but
Yes,
I know,
it's
I
said
know.
by somebody who's making a big damn deal out of something
Yeah.
that didn't happen.
oh, simmer
You
down.
can't even have a best
That
friend
never even,
anymore.
that
you
never even
know?
crossed my mind.
I'm not
Well,
mine either until I read it. And it's like, oh, come
Yeah.
on.
it didn't cross my mind. Well, I guess it did sort of cross my mind. I was like,
Tell the
but
truth.
I mean, I thought that's not, a best friend, But then I started reading about it, and it was a big deal in Wikipedia and all that. So
But then there's other movies that they say too, that some other people will say the same as you, Chris, like, oh, poo-poo on
I
that. But there's
think,
other movies where it's a little more like, no, there's something happening there. Um,
No,
I think men at that time were a little more demonstrative, seems. Because there's been lots of movies in that time frame in the 30s where the men are more, they're more demonstrative. They're more touchy-feely and it seems like as the movies got older, that the men's kind of pulled away from other men, maybe because of the gay thing, that they didn't want, didn't
Yeah.
want to be thought of as gay. So, they would pull back and not do anything. Because I noticed, I've noticed in movies that they have gotten progressively less and less demonstrative, unless, of course, it is a gay movie. But
Not that big Irish guy.
I thought Gary Cooper was great in that little scene he
Yeah.
had.
that is
I
first
wish
film
I
appearance.
must have missed him. Where was he? What was he?
Early on,
you missed
Yeah,
it.
he was
He's a
like
cadet.
literally in like the first reel of the movie. He has
Was he
a
like standing at attention? Was that it?
No, he was
No,
in
no,
the
no, no,
tent.
no,
he
no,
was a roommate.
He's the one
Yeah,
that
yeah, he-
died. He went. They
yeah,
came in.
they
They
both
talked to
made-
him, and
Okay. I did
That's
miss
Gary
in
that.
the
Cooper.
barracks. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
yeah, he got. And I thought that was kind of cool how they handled it. But then he died in a training. He's
Yeah.
they weren't
Mhm.
even in war yet. It's like
Yeah, it was
your
friendly
most
fire.
experienced pilot. He dies in a training accident, and I thought,
Wow.
well, it's good to see Gary Cooper,
Yeah.
but I could have.
well, that's good, Barnhart, because he was asking about you. So
Gary Cooper, he went up. Okay, so what's his name? William Wellman, is that the director's name?
Something like that.
It sounds
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
He goes on to do Beau Jest. And
Oh, yeah.
Beau Jest is not a silent film. I think it's 1933. And it's like my dad's favorite movie. And so I really like it too. It's one of my favorite movies too.
It is
But
good.
who's the star of Beau Jest?
Gary Cooper.
Gary Cooper.
Yeah.
Mm.
So these
So
guys are.
so he didn't die.
Nobody didn't fly either.
Yeah.
Hey, I got this blonde for a reason. Kidding.
Anyway,
Jeff Arthur, did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. I was entertained. So I was asking about the infantry scenes because they seemed kind of fakey to me. Like they weren't even ducking. They just were standing there and getting shot. And it's like, duck.
Yeah,
Boo.
there's one frame of the last big battle scene where where one of the extras is clearly assigned to die when he hits a certain spot on and you can see the guy he just drops his rifle and falls over. I mean, there's no sort
Yeah,
of
no reason why. Yeah.
ever even appear that he was shot. He just
It's not like a
Okay.
reaction to anything. He just
Yeah.
no.
over.
It was his cue. Time to go down.
Yeah.
Do you think
I
that,
like that.
when they did the
Almost-
bubble scenes, do you think that was pretty high
How'd they do that?
tech?
Yes. How
I
did
think
they
they
do?
probably hand painted the actual film itself. Each frame is, I'm guessing that they just hand painted the circles in.
Or they it was animation.
Well,
Did they have that then?
Did we have a lot of animation in 27? I mean,
well,
was it-
yeah, you
Oh,
would have
yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snow
Yeah.
White, isn't that from like 20?
No, that's from the 30s, but Mickey
30s,
Mouse and Walt Disney were doing animation in the 20s.
Yeah,
Mm.
okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
When did Mickey
Yeah.
Mouse start?
Actually, the shot in that scene that is pretty cool is it's the trucking shot where they're in the nightclub and they zoom in to Jack and the girl he's with, and they truck right through all these tables to get to him. So they're just zooming through.
Huh.
It's a pretty sophisticated shot.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
I looked
thought
it
it
up.
was-
Steamboat Willie, who eventually
Yeah.
became Mickey Mouse, 1928.
Yeah.
Uh,
Same time
But
frame.
isn't that somewhat different
Well,
animation versus
yeah, this was
film?
just circles. So if every frame they put the circle at a different spot, it would look like when they ran it that it's going up and down or whatever, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's how
Yeah.
I
they,
don't know.
yeah. But I thought one of the things I read that I thought was funny is that Buster, is that his name, Buster? He had never had a drink of alcohol in his life before. So the scene where he's drinking that champagne, it's real champagne, and he's really drunk. But oh well, realism in the movies. Yeah.
Huh. We should try it.
Yeah, it was good. It was very good. And it was perfect.
What
So
do you think?
apropos.
So you think they just took a little creative license when he figured out at the end that he liked Clara Bow and they wrapped it all up? Or did
Oh, that's a Hollywood ending.
Yes.
You know, it had to
Yeah,
be.
I just
Clara
felt like
Bow.
that was see
Yeah,
Jack
and-
run, see Jane. I mean, you knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Of
yes.
course.
Uh-oh. Who could it be?
Did he ever see
Oh
the
my-
back of
Oh
the picture where
my.
it said Dave on it instead of whatever his name was?
Who's
what
that?
now?
Did he ever see the back of the picture where it said the other guy's name instead of his? I know, after he tore it up, he was looking at it, but I don't think he
Mhm.
ever
I
saw the
can't. I
back.
can't figure out how he didn't see it.
Yeah. If he did, they didn't tell us. But he did read the letters
Yeah.
that Sylvia had sent to David that said that,
Yeah,
he
she
still
wasn't in
thinks
love.
I'm in
Yeah.
love with him and all this, and I am
Yeah.
not.
I agree with you, Jeff. He seemed unaware, but there's no way he could have missed that, pulling that picture out of the locket. I didn't.
No, you
think.
always gotta look on the back and see what somebody wrote.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm. Part of the deal.
Hey,
Hey,
Gary.
Are you live?
I'm alive.
There you go.
Good.
Hi, where
Hi.
are you?
Are you home?
No, I'm in Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Ah,
Nice.
I'm on my way home.
The old stomping grounds.
That's right. Yeah, we used to live here. This is where Dylan was born.
I was hoping you'd show up, and just as a sidebar to everybody else, are you friends with Keith Owens on Facebook?
I don't know that name. No.
That's Aaron's husband.
Oh yeah, I do know about that. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, you know about his.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I do. Hi, Donna.
hi.
Are you home?
I'm home. Worst cruise ever. Disaster. Oh my
Oh,
God.
wow.
I won't be cruising for a while.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it really was. Well, not only we all got sick, I was telling Chris, not only did we all get sick, as a matter of fact, Roland went to the doctor today and my voice is a octave or so lower. But the two friends that we went with, he was taken off the ship to go to a hospital in Cozumel. So that was, yeah, and we didn't even know about it. And I'm trying to get a satellite phone to find out where they are. I mean, it was just,
I thought everybody got rhinovirus when they went on a cruise.
well, I never had, but boy, I was telling Chris they had lobster the last night and I didn't even eat it.
Ugh,
So that if you eat
Travesty.
me, you
That's
would
bad.
know that that is not something I would normally do.
So, Bill, you picked Wings. I didn't get a chance to watch it. What's everybody's take on it?
I mean, I liked it. I think most everybody liked it
Everybody
pretty
liked
good.
Everybody
We all
liked it.
liked
I
it.
think was glad to see it.
So I should
Yeah.
It
take
may
a
It's
be-
look.
silent.
It may
Yeah.
be that there are different versions of it.
Yeah.
I would say that if you are going to watch it, the one on Prime I know is pretty nice. You
And
know,
the one on Hoopla was
restored,
the same.
huh?
But
Tubi
Tubi
was
seems to be
good.
different.
I mean, Tubi, the
was
film
good.
itself is fine. It's just that the soundtrack is terrible on Tubi. So
So
I
you
would
just
turn the
mute it.
sound off. Yeah.
Mm,
I mean, one thing I noticed was like when they were shooting the guns, out of the front of the planes, sometimes they were so yellow. Like I was thinking that couldn't have been part of the original.
Well, they had to restore it. Keep in mind, that
No,
they-
no. If I read correctly, what I think I read was they tinted the scenes with the gunfire so that the gunfire looked yellow or orange.
In the
Yeah.
original.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's another case-
or at least in the
Restoration.
restoration of it.
Yeah.
and another thing that I kind of noticed as a technique they used were like some scenes were that black and white, like behind Chris and behind me, and others were more of that sepia, like what's behind Karen.
Mhm.
uh-huh.
It seemed
Looked
like-
older. Yeah.
Karen lives in a sepia
it's-
toned house.
yeah, right. That's just the way it goes. Well, but keep in mind, the restoration took place 40 years ago. It was restored in 85.
Yeah.
So,
Is this a World War I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And is there a hero,
Clara Bow.
heroine? Is there a love?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Clara
Oh,
Clara
And
Bow.
Chris.
And-
these
and
two
there's-
behind me, whichever direction.
Yeah,
These two.
Okay.
and there's
three.
two scenes with nudity,
Oh,
and one gay kiss.
whoa,
Yeah.
Something to look for.
wow, okay. I'll have to catch up.
Report back.
And then
important-
after you've watched it, talk to me about Clara Bow and the pilots.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Most importantly, is there a character with an arc?
There's lots of them. They go,
The guy on the
Yeah,
left
right.
here over Chris.
Yeah, that's him.
All
This
right,
guy's arc was a little
Yeah.
short. The guy on the right,
Yeah.
his arc was discontinued.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
She had happy ending here, this one.
All right. So, Bill, why'd you pick this? What inspired you to pick this?
Well, I've had it on my list for a while, and a lot of people I've talked to have enjoyed it.
Did it win an Academy Award when it was?
It won the
Yeah.
first Academy Award.
The very first
Academy
award for
Award.
Best Picture.
Okay.
They
All
didn't
right.
call it that then, though. They had another name. But
They call it Best
I mean-
Picture Production.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
And
expected it to
engineering
be
and
a
something.
lot plainer, really.
Mhm, I did too.
And it's 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's impressive.
I think it could have beat Anora.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I
it
think
should.
so,
It
too.
definitely would have
Yeah.
beaten Nora.
Hey,
I wonder what the budget was for it, because Honora's was only 6 million, and it is the lowest grossing Best Picture winner ever.
ever.
Awful.
Oh, I still don't get why. I've seen it and I do not get why.
The budget
On
on
Best
this one was
Picture.
2 million in 1927.
Oh,
Yeah,
And I think they said that was about 30 million in today's dollars.
in today's
Donna, you
dollars.
don't understand the appeal
Of Nora.
for Honora?
Oh, no, at
Really?
all.
Do you?
I don't.
Oh, absolutely. And what I think is funny is people last night who thought, oh, okay, let's watch the Academy Awards and let's have a date night and see what this best picture that won best director, best editing, best screenplay. Let's go and let's take the kids. Maybe the part that they kept thanking the sex industry
Oh man.
might be a clue.
Yeah.
I thought it was
You
great.
know, you liked it?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't like it
I-
at all.
Because
I found
of,
that there was
because of
nothing.
her, and I think she her
One Best
performance was
Actress. Yeah.
over the top. Yes.
But that's what I mean. I didn't find, that's why I thought her acting was way over the top. And she was, you know, a New Jersey or Bronx or wherever she was from. But I thought I didn't see women empowered at all in this.
You
And I'm
didn't?
not a prude. It's not about being a sex worker. That's fine. It's about, I just thought it was Pretty Women. It was Pretty Woman, but the bad version, you know?
Wow. Wow.
Donna, how do you think sex workers behave?
Well, yeah, I'm sure I think there's a gamut
Probably
of
can't.
sex workers like anything else, like any other industry. You're
Well,
gonna
let's say at
high
that sort of
end
that level.
and
of-
low end, but
Okay.
that's not even that. It's just
All
All
right.
about the money.
you'll see. I'll be interested to see because
Yeah.
I couldn't see even an arc in her character at all. It was the same F-bomb, 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 F-bomb continually. So I didn't get it. I still don't get it, but
Well,
you know,
you have to
should
see
know.
it.
She stood up to a powerful Russian.
So big deal. I wish our president
I was
would.
gonna say, no,
Yeah.
that's what I've heard people say, you know, give her the Oscar. She at least could stand up to a powerful. role.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
I did watch I watched Flow this evening. Has anybody seen Flow?
No,
Yes,
see that.
very, very good. Yeah,
Yeah.
so good.
And now it's your turn, Latvia or Lithuania.
Yeah.
Ball's in your court.
Yeah, yeah.
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 Very good. Yeah.
So
How-
did you do a ballot?
Yeah, how many did you get right?
No, I didn't. I
Did you
didn't.
do a ballot? How about
Uh,
Jeff? Jeff, did you do
I
one?
was pulling for everything complete unknown because
Mhm.
Yeah,
I thought it was well done. I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, I did too.
I think they should have taken the Oscar away from Adrian Brody for trying to steal the show. They should have played.
He's
the-
always done that. That's
Yeah.
how, you know, that's just Brody being Brody.
Yeah, yeah. I don't need Brody. I don't need more of Brody.
He's a little full of himself.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But I was pulling for. I thought that the adapted screenplay for A Complete Unknown was well done. I thought Timmy
A real
Chalamet
pain.
did
Yeah.
a good job, but I was happy that Honora did as well as it did. One guy won what 4 Oscars?
Five.
Right? That's pretty
Was it
good.
5? Okay.
He only spent $6 million.
Of somebody else's money.
He did it. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And he never left New York City. He's like, we'll just do it in the neighborhood. Yeah.
Although it doesn't sound like they're making a lot of money back.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Because of people like Donna. who doesn't agree.
Mea culpa, mea culpa. I'm so sorry.
no, don't be
Oh.
sorry. No, no, no.
No, I just still, I kind of wish, I wish a woman had directed it. I really didn't see a woman's point of view at all in it. I mean, yeah.
I'll have to get Joan on the phone with you and you can.
Yeah.
find it
Did
out.
she like it?
Oh, she loved it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So I was just on a cruise
I don't
and
believe that.
on the first day, there was a lady who was struggling to move bags out of her stateroom into another, and her husband was he was not in a wheelchair, but he was pushing a wheelchair. They were really struggling. So I helped him to move from one room to the next. The next day, we're outside and they have called an ambulance. And I realized she is standing next to the ambulance because her husband at breakfast had tripped and broken a plate, and the plate had cut him
Oh, my God.
and he was bleeding to death.
Oh
And
my God.
they managed to wrap him up. They never came back on the shift, and I think they airlifted him. And I asked the cruise director, I said, you know, what happened? I know those people. I helped them move from one room to the next. And he said, I have no idea. If you had any idea how many medical emergencies we have where we're moving people off of a ship or into a hospital or into an airlift or something, he says, it's impossible for me to keep track. So,
wow.
and at the age of the people who cruise, like me,
Like me.
chances that something's going to go wrong is very high. So,
Yeah. Well, that was the thing with my friend. He started having heart palpitations or some issue with his heart, and he couldn't find his nitroglycerin. And the doctor said, you're getting off the ship because I don't know what's happening, and you're going to be 2 days on the ocean. You're off. So the doctor made the decision to, take them off.
Well, our crew, we had no illnesses. Everybody, it was a great cruise.
Oh,
sorry.
I'm happy. I'm sad for me. I'm happy for you.
Who's got the next pick?
I don't know. I hope
Jeff Copeland,
It's Gary, isn't it?
I thought, yeah, Gary, we got to get back to Gary's
you're
turn.
gonna pick up Gary now?
Okay, well, yeah, I think I can be here next Monday. Let me give it some thought, and I'll get you an answer by tomorrow. How's that?
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds
I wasn't sure I
good.
was gonna
Yeah.
even be able to make it tonight, but I'll try it and pick something.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay,
Anybody want a recommendation?
Yeah.
sure.
No?
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Karen.
Not me.
Chris.
Oh,
Chris.
I mean,
I
Chris.
watched Anuja, which was a live action short film about the girl in India. And she had to choose between continuing to work in the clothing factory or go to college because she was a brilliant mathematician. And that was quite good. And then I watched The Only Girl in the Orchestra.
That one.
That
one.
Yeah,
one.
that one.
Yeah, which is about Orrin O'Brien, and she was the only woman in the New York Philharmonic. And then my last one that I watched just yesterday was Becoming Katharine Graham. This didn't have anything to do with the Oscars, but that was very, very good. And I didn't know there was a movie called The Post that was made back in 2015.
She's like WAPO, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Do what?
Washington Post.
Post, and it was Meryl Streep played Catherine.
Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks is in it as well. So that might be fun to watch that movie as well. But those are my recommendations.
has anybody seen I'm Still Here?
Yeah.
I'm going tomorrow.
I thought she would get Best Actress, really, but
Well, I
no.
haven't seen it. Would you guys mind if I chose that as next Mondays? Because I'd like to watch it, and then I'd like to see what everybody thinks about it.
Can you
No,
can you
we're-
get
we
where
get
can you
it?
get it?
Where do you
Yeah.
get it?
Well,
I
let me
don't
know,
know.
and if it's too expensive or not available, I'll pick something else. But that I want to see that, and if it's affordable
I.
and accessible,
Yeah.
I'll pick that.
I mean, I know we had to go, we were trying to watch them all last week, but that's last week. We had to go to the theater to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't streaming a week ago, but
Yeah,
it may
I
be
don't know.
tomorrow since it's.
I'll bet you they're all I bet you they're all streaming now.
Probably.
I bet they
Yeah.
are.
If it's more than $4, let me know, and I'll pick something else. If it's $3.99 and under, that's my pick.
Okay,
We're all, I'm on a fixed income.
that's right.
What's it called?
I'm still here.
Still here.
I'm still here. True story.
This now says how to stream I'm Still Here is exclusively available through Apple TV Plus, but it doesn't say what the cost is.
All right. Well, I'll pick an alternative if by this time tomorrow we don't have access to it. Okay.
All right.
Okay,
It's a deal.
sounds good.
Hey, Jeff Arthur, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I was just looking it up too. Mine's on Real Good. It doesn't say you can get it anywhere.
And IMDb the same. It doesn't say you can stream it anywhere.
Good.
All right.
I know it's still at the theater because I'm supposed to see it at the theater tomorrow.
Well, think of Plan B, Gary. Let us know.
Well, I just expect all of you to go to the theater tomorrow. As the producer of Honora implored us to do, show up. in
Well,
theater.
it is Tuesday, which is senior discount day.
That's right.
It's also Karen Teaches Day. Yeah,
Jeff Arthur, that's applies to all of us except you.
That's true.
So does he get a note from us?
Can you escort us to the theater, Jeff?
Yeah.
I'm with him.
I was stupid. I had to drive him.
This won't mean anything to anybody other than Mike Matson, but a friend of mine who I've told about this group would love to join. And I've said, you know, the entry fee and the
Goes directly to Bill.
And he
application.
has to audition. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very high, but if there's room, you know, and because Matson travels, you know, Mahoney can't make it all the time. I said, I think there's probably room to fill out the Hollywood squares,
Yeah.
but I would run it by everybody. His name's John Twitty, and he's now retired and loves what we do, the idea of what we do, and would love to play along. So I said, well, you know, you can make a guest appearance and then we can vote you in or out.
Yeah.
Does he live in Springfield?
Yeah.
He does. And
Like
Mike
a politician.
and John said Mike and the two of them used to be in an investment club, or
Well, we used to have a poker game.
maybe that was it.
Oh, that's what you call
Poker
investment
investment.
clubs. I see.
For some, it was an investment. For some, we used to play poker once a month.
But every time I see him, he goes, and when it's my turn, I want to recommend. And so he's got like 8 movies he wants us all to see.
Well, Bill will have to send him the list of what we've already seen.
Oh,
so.
he'll, yeah.
That list is mind-boggling. I've tried.
Yeah. That needs to be simplified somehow. I don't know how. I'm not.
I've looked at it and like, oh, okay.
Can't you just, I use Control F and I can get through it
Is
anytime.
there a current one somewhere? Because I have one that Mike Saunders sent me 3 years ago.
Yeah. I'm sure that's the one, the same
Oh,
one.
the same one hasn't been updated in 3 years.
No, I mean, I still keep the same list. I put the movies that we
Add
picked,
to it.
you know,
Well,
Yeah.
what you
send-
really got to do
send
is
Jeff
type in.
a new one.
Maybe
Uh,
we need
It's
an
pretty impressive
updated
list.
list. It is impressive. Maybe you should send us the updated one to all of us, so we have it.
Fine.
Make that
So
chance.
we can Control F.
We're going to control F you if you keep that up.
I saw that coming a mile
Wow.
away.
Oh, boy.
Control Delete.
Good one, Mike.
Bye.
Ah,
So
it's
Gary,
Honora.
don't go yet. I want to tell you, guess who came and saw me today? Lit.
Okay.
Lit
Really?
drove all the way from Columbia. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. We were hoping, we didn't, to find, he had given Bob the Power of the Pyramid book.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I read, and I'm like, we hunted, we didn't find it. So, and he's like, oh, and it's out of print, and my sister's been looking, and I can't find it. I'm like, what's the name? Like, oh, here it is, it's $7. I'm like, I'm buying it.
ah,
That is so tech. I mean, even 80s tech, he can't do.
Oh, dear.
Oh my God.
No email, no
No,
cell phone.
no cell phone.
Website,
That's
no
why he
nothing.
drove there.
I
If-
know, I know.
If he can't call a theater and buy a ticket over the phone, he's not
It's not
going.
going.
Oh, my gosh.
Unless you like get his ticket for him to like imagine, and then you're like,
Right.
here.
Right.
No, yeah, I
Wow.
know, yeah. But yeah, so yeah, we didn't find it. We had, and you know how, God, I love him, but his stories, they go off in different, directions and new people. And then he's like, and then Gary, wait, what was his last name? I'm like, Lit, you're telling the story. You could make up a name. I wouldn't know.
And you're the last person he'll talk to this month. So he has to get some of that out.
So, yeah, I got to hear a couple of stories, but then he had to go because there's gonna be traffic. I'm like, okay. At 2:45, he's out of there.
Yeah. What a
Yeah.
good soul. What a good soul.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Oh my
He
God.
is.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. And a couple of Randy stories, and I'm like,
All of a sudden, Randy is emailing me every day.
uh-oh.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
what restaurants he's near, what he's cooking, how he's decorating, what his place looks like. I haven't heard from him in 5 years, and all of a sudden I'm his pen pal.
Trying to be an influencer.
One at a
My
time.
phone.
Right, one at a time.
I
One
think he has a crush.
Could- No.
I used to get cardinal emails from him
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
until
Yeah.
last year, and then poof, they went away.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Well,
We found Gary.
He met Gary, yeah.
all right.
Don't give him
All
my
right.
all
email.
right. That's the end of my story. Thanks.
Past
Thanks
my
for sticking
bedtime. It's
around.
like 9 o'clock where I am.
I
Oh,
know.
yeah, me too, me
I
too.
gotta
That's
go
right.
watch the Jayhawks beat Houston.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good
All
luck.
right.
with it.
Steve.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Take
all.
care, everybody.
Have a good week.